Benign, good and kind of heart. Benignant, benevolent in feeling, character, or aspect. Benignity, kindness of feeling, disposition, or manner. Benison, blessing. Bequeath, to give by will. Bereave, to make desolate with loneliness and grief. Berth, a bunk or bed in a vessel, sleeping car, etc. Beseech, to implore. Beset, to attack on all sides. Besmear, to smear over as with an oily or sticky substance. Bestial, animal. Bestrew, to sprinkle or cover with things strewn. Bestride, to get or sit upon astride, as a horse. Bethink, to remind oneself. Betide, to happen to or befall. Betimes, in good season or time. Betroth, to engage to marry. Betrothal, engagement to marry. Bevel, any inclination of two surfaces other than 90 degrees. Bewilder, to confuse the perceptions or judgment of. Bibliomania, the passion for collecting books. Bibliography, a list of the words of an author or the literature bearing on a particular subject. Bibliophile, one who loves books. Bibulus, fond of drinking. Bide, to await. Biennial, a plant that produces leaves and roots the first year and flowers and fruit the second. Bier, a horizontal framework with two handles at each end for carrying a corpse to the grave. Bigamist, one who has two spouses at the same time. Bigamy, the crime of marrying another person while having a legal spouse living. Bight, a slightly receding bay between headlands formed by a long curve of a coastline. Bilateral, two-sided. Bilingual, speaking two languages. Biograph, a bibliographical sketch or notice. Biography, a written account of one's life, actions, and character. Biology, the science of life or living organisms. Biped, an animal having 2 feet. Birthright, a privilege or possession into which one is born. Bitterness, acridity as to the taste. Blasé, sated with pleasure. Blaspheme, to indulge in profane oaths. Blatant, noisily or offensively loud or clamorous. Blaze, a vivid glowing flame. Blazon, to make widely or generally known. Bleak, desolate. Blemish, a mark that mars beauty. Blithe, joyous. Blithesome, cheerful. Blockade, the shutting up of a town, a frontier, or a line of coast by hostile forces. Boatswain, a subordinate officer of a vessel who has general charge of the rigging, anchors, etc. Bodice, a woman's ornamental corset-shaped laced waist. Bodily, corporeal. Boisterous, unchecked merriment or animal spirits. Bole, the trunk or body of a tree. Bolero, a Spanish dance illustrative of the passion of love, accompanied by cast nets and singing. Boll, a round pod or seed capsule, as a flax or cotton boll. Bolster, to support, as something wrong. Bomb, a hollow projectile containing an explosive material. Bombard, to assail with any missile or with abusive speech. Bombardier, a person who has charge of mortars, bombs, and shells. Bombast, inflated or extravagant language, especially on unimportant subjects. Boorish, rude. Bore, to weary by tediousness or dullness. Borough, an incorporated village or town. Bosom, the breast or the upper front of the thorax of a human being, especially of a woman. Botanical, connected with the study or cultivation of plants. Botanize, to study plant life. Botany, the science that studies and treats plants. Bountiful, showing abundance. Bowdlerize, to expurgate in editing, a literary composition, by omitting words or passages. Bowler, in cricket, the player who delivers the ball. Boycott, to place the products or merchandise of under a ban. Bray, hillside. Braggart, a vain boaster. Brandish, to wave, shake, or flourish triumphantly or defiantly as a sword or spear. Bravado, an aggressive display of boldness. Bravo, well done. Bray, a loud, harsh sound, as the cry of an ass or the blast of a horn. Braze, to make of or ornament with brass. Brazier, an open pan or basin for holding live coals. Breach, the violation of official duty, lawful right, or a legal obligation. Breach, the buttocks. Brethren, members of a brotherhood, guild, profession, association, or the like. Brevity, shortness of duration. Bric-a-brac, objects of curiosity or for decoration. Bridle, the head harness of a horse consisting of a headstall, a bit, and the reins. Brigade, a body of troops consisting of 2 or more regiments. Brigadier, general officer who commands a brigade, ranking between a colonel and a major general. Brigand, one who lives by robbery and plunder. Brimstone, sulfur. Brine, water saturated with salt. Bristle, one of the coarse, stiff hairs of swine, used in brush-making, etc. Britannia, the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Britishism, a word, idiom, or phrase characteristic of Great Britain or the British. Brittle, fragile. Broach, to mention for the first time. Broadcast, disseminated far and wide. Brogan, a coarse, heavy shoe. Brogue, any dialect pronunciation of English, especially that of the Irish people. Brokerage, the business of making sales and purchases for a commission, a broker. Bromine, a dark reddish-brown, non-metallic liquid element with a suffocating odor. Bronchitis, inflammation of the bronchial tubes. Bronchus, either of the 2 subdivisions of the trachea conveying air into the lungs. Brooch or brooch, an article of jewelry fastened by a hinged pin and hook on the underside. Brotherhood, spiritual or social fellowship or solidarity. Browbeat, to overwhelm or attempt to do so by stern, haughty, or rude address or manner. Brusque, somewhat rough or rude in manner or speech. Buffoon, a clown. Buffoonery, low drollery, coarse jokes, etc. Bulbous, of or pertaining to or like a bulb. Bullock, an ox. Bulrush, any one of various tall rush-like plants growing in damp ground or water. Bulwark, anything that gives security or defense. Bumper, a cup or glass filled to the brim, especially one to be drunk as a toast or health. Bumptious, full of offensive and aggressive self-conceit. Bungle, to execute clumsily. Buoyancy, power or tendency to float on or in a liquid or gas. Buoyant, having the power or tendency to float or keep afloat. Bureau, a chest of drawers for clothing, etc. Bureaucracy, government by departments of men transacting particular branches of public business. Burgess, in colonial times, a member of the lower house of the legislature of Maryland or Virginia. Burgher, an inhabitant, citizen, or freeman of a borough, burg, or corporate town. Burnish, to make brilliant or shining. Bursar, a treasurer. Bustle, to hurry. Butte, a conspicuous hill, low mountain, or natural turret, generally isolated. Buttress, any support or prop. Bylaw, a rule or law adopted by an association, a corporation, or the like. Cabal, a number of persons secretly united for effecting by intrigue some private purpose. Kabbalism, superstitious devotion to one's religion. Cabinet, the body of men constituting the official advisers of the executive head of a nation. Cacophony, a disagreeable, harsh, or discordant sound or combination of sounds or tones. Cadaverous, resembling a corpse. Cadence, rhythmical or measured flow or movement, as in poetry, or the time and pace of marching troops. Cadenza, an embellishment or flourish, prepared or improvised for a solo voice or instrument. Caitiff, cowardly. Cajole, to impose on or dupe by flattering speech. Cajolery, delusive speech. Calculable, that which may be estimated by reckoning. Calculus, a concretion formed in various parts of the body resembling a pebble in hardness. Callosity, the state of being hard and insensible. Callow, without experience of the world. Calorie, amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water 1 degree centigrade. Calumny, slander. Calvary, the place where Christ was crucified. Calvinism, the system of doctrine taught by John Calvin. Calvinize, to teach or imbue with the doctrines of Calvinism.